Reserve stabilization is the third in a series of 5 videos demonstrating relationships and their implications. In this particular example, the use of fossil fuel tends to diminish the fossil fuel reserves. And when that happens, as the reserves are diminished, it tends to increase the price of fuel. And as fuel prices increase, it tends to discourage the use of fossil fuel. So we end up with a structure that's attempting to balance or stabilize the activity, so that because the more you diminish the reserves, the higher the price goes, the less, or the way that it discourages people from using the fossil fuel. So the whole idea is that it's a structure, because of the nature of the relationships, tends to stabilize the activity. This is one of 3 types of balancing loops, and I'll talk about the other 2 in the subsequent videos. Note that there's a risk associated with labeling the relationships, even though, because the way that this is defined, it says use of fossil fuel, it diminishes fossil fuel reserves. The increase of, or the declining use of fossil fuel would not actually increase the fossil fuel reserves, because of the nature of fossil fuel reserves being a stock. It's something that you add to or subtract to, and diminishing the use of fossil fuel in this particular set of relationships doesn't increase the reserves. The reserves would have to be increased by some other relationship that's not part of this particular diagram. So, as I said, this is simply an example to point out the nature of a set of relationships, whereas in any specific real situation, there would be far more relationships that would come into play that one would have to consider. Now, this reserve stabilization is an element of the and it's all connected set of content, and this is in the implications section, and on all 5 videos are here, and there'll be a link to this in the notes section of the video. So I'll see you in another video shortly. Bye.